Sam, how important was it for you and the team after that narrow defeat at York to return to winning ways against Oldham last Friday?
Yeah, it were really important. We'd sort of earmarked it as one that we needed to win because they're breathing down us next. So if we want to keep in contention to go top, then yeah, it's one we had to win. We put in a really good performance, probably the best one of the year. So yeah, good to sort of put the York one in the rearview mirror for the time being. And yeah, a good win.
How important is it then that you carry that momentum from a strong 80-minute performance against Oldham to what is going to be a very tough encounter against Widnes on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's got to set the tone now for the rest of the year. We've sort of shown in spells that performance will come in, and to put sort of 80 minutes together, is huge, but it's also got to be, like I say, it's a bit of a statement of intent for what we want to be about for the rest of the year, because I don't think I've ever had an easy game up at Widnes, and I've won and lost there, so it's going to be another tough one.
It is just one win in the last eight for Bradford. Very, very similar to the record against Featherstone, against Barrow. What kind of mindset do you need, Sam, when you're going into these games where historically, Bradford don't have a great record, on at Widnes?
I think it's you've just sort of the past really. We've got a brand new squad. We've got some couple of players who've probably never played at Widnes away. We've got lads who have done, but in different teams, and we've all got to come together and put in a good performance. I think you can't look into too much of the. We've only won one from 8 previous meetings and all this kind of thing. When we've gone to Widnes, it's a completely different team, and you can't really compare previous years. So we've just got to take it. It's a brand new game, brand new week, and one we've got to attack.
In the game at Odsal, you scored a try in that come from behind win. What did you learn from that game, and is there anything you can learn from that game performance that could be crucial for this weekend's game?
I can't really remember it, I'll be honest, mate. My memory is not what it used to be.
You definitely crashed over the
line.
No,
I remember the try, mate. It was a great try. But no, I can't really remember much, mate, to be honest. We'll look at that sort of this week and go through the previous game and what's coming up. I just know there's, personnel-wise, Widnes have got some talent in there. And they've got a good pack as well, and they've got some good players who can hurt us. So we're going to have to be on his mettle.
Not many people probably know this, Sam, but you were an England Academy captain. With Michael Lawrence potentially missing this one as well as last week, how do you see that role and what you've achieved early on in your career as an England international captain for the Academy side, now that can play its part with what's out there on the field?
Yeah, I just try doing my job, so nothing really changes whether Bruno's sort of in or out. Obviously he's a fantastic leader, but we've got a lot of good leaders within the team. Jordan Lilly, Jade Knockenbaugh is a great leader as well. Joe Keys, Mitch when he's out there, he's a fantastic leader, so we've got them in abundance. It's just sort of just doing my job and making sure that I look after my own backyard first. And if I do that, then hopefully I can say the right things when I feel like I need to. But thanks for reminding me of my glittering international career, Mick. I appreciate that.
When you look at Bradford and the sort of team dynamics, there has been a bit of injury adversity now. Things have kind of changed. How important is that role in keeping that kind of cohesion, connectability, that unity, that strength?
Yeah, really important. I think it's the same for every team in every league, innit? Everyone goes through their injuries. We've probably had a bit of an unsettled spine this year due to injuries and everything else. So, it's finding a bit of consistency now will be really key for us, especially like I say through the spine. You can sort of chop and change your pack a little bit. Individually, it's not great, but if you can get your spine gelling and working and get them out on the training field and regularly get them playing together regularly, then hopefully for the home run, it bears fruit for us.
Is that what it feels like for you as a player now? These are the final 7 games where ultimately, the season effectively is on the line.
Yeah, we have to win obviously more than we're going to lose. I know it's an obvious thing to say, but we're not if take the league into consideration. We're not in a comfortable position, like playoffs are sealed. You know, that's same for York at the top to those in the chasing pack. So you know, we have to win as many as we can if we want to sort of be in that top 2, top 1. You know, we are going to have to win. There's no two ways about it.
This trip to Widnes is a unique rugby league experience because you're going from Odsal to a totally different stadium in terms of the fact that it is synthetic, it is 4G, and obviously one of the bigger grounds in the championship.
Yeah, you know, we like a big pitch. Like you say, I think everywhere's a bit different to Odsal, isn't it? But you know, we've played on Toulouse and you know that went well. So hopefully we put in a bit of a better performance against Widnes. But you know, it's big for the kickers. You know, when they're kicking on artificial turf, it can skip on a bit and all this kind of thing. So there's a lot of different factors to it. But yeah, it's always, like I say, it's just a tough place to go. The Widnes crowd, I know they're only getting sort of a couple of stands, but they make a racket when they're there. And if it's a warm day and that heat's bouncing up off the pitch, it can be a tough all afternoon. So weather plays a factor, pitch plays a factor, but it's bad or good for both teams.
You're expecting a bit of a response from Widnes after what happened against Doncaster on Sunday?
Yeah. I think if you're off the back of a loss, regardless, I think teams are always going to try and respond as best they can. So you know, especially when they had a bit of a numerical advantage and they couldn't quite get it done. I think you know, they're going to see this as one if they can sort of chalk us off at the weekend, and you know, it sort of gives them some good momentum going forward.
Just finally, Sam, you made your Super League debut for Leeds against Wigan at Magic Weekend, I think in 2016. With everything what's happening potentially in the next 7 days, with Super League potentially expanding or staying the same, whatever happens, Salford are going to come out and there is going to be a place for either Bradford, Toulouse or York, you feel. What are your sort of goals and aspirations? I mean, I'm kind of guessing you'd absolutely love to have a second chance, a second crack at Super League with the Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, going on a roadmap of my career here, aren't we, with England Academy, and yeah, it's no mate, I'd love to. I think growing up as a young lad, you know, I watched them in Super League, and you know, the club put out these little clips of old time when they were in Super League. So you know, to play in a Bradford shirt in Super League would be brilliant. But I think for the whole of the sport, you know, as long as the right decision's made, you know, be that us. I'd love it to be us. But if it happens to go elsewhere, as long as the sport is successful and thriving, then that's all that matters. But yeah, I'd love to just done it for, you know, I think I've only played an hour of Super League collectively, so, but it's an hour more than some people have, so yeah, I'm very grateful for it. But yeah, I'd love to have another go.